Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and we have two Brian Laundrie sightings. Now, I don't know if either of these are true. I want to put that right out the gate, but we have two sightings of people swearing they saw Mr. Laundrie. And we're live, and I'm so grateful to the chat here who has been helping me gather all the right information. We've even debunked a theory that Cassie's white Ford truck could be the one that Brian was driving. It seems highly unlikely since the truck is still in her driveway. But a lot of people keep wondering, could it have been her truck? I wanted to break down both of these sightings for you just so we could see do either of these seem legit. And chat, I want to get your thoughts as well of which one of these seems legit. Could they both be legit? Could they both be wrong? Could one of them seem more likely? Let's break down the two latest sightings. All right, so over the weekend, we've had two. Actually, this one came in on Saturday. And so officers from multiple law enforcement agencies converged on a Southgate Parkway motel Saturday after two men reported seeing fugitive Brian Laundrie walk past them. Laundrie is wanted for authorities for questioning, obviously, for the death of Gabby. And so Cambridge police officers, sheriff's deputies, and Central Ohio Drug task force responded to the Quality Inn just after the sighting was reported. An investigation was conducted in conjunction with the FBI, but Laundrie was not located on the grounds. We checked several rooms of interest after ruling out other rooms throughout our investigation, said Cambridge Police Detective Dustin. According to police reports, the men contacted authorities at approximately 10:40 a.m. Saturday to report a man they believed to be Laundrie had walked past them while they were performing maintenance work outside. Both men told authorities they had a good look at the man and both believed it was Laundrie. Godot contacted the local FBI office, and a plan to check the hotel was formulated. So they called the FBI, two witnesses, which is encouraging. It wasn't just one person who said, I think I saw a bald guy. We had two witnesses who were both like, dude, that looks like Brian. I imagine they checked their phones immediately afterwards. Two different people thought, this guy looks like him. They called, and the FBI was quick enough to show up, and they did. Approximately 8 to 10 officers responded to search the grounds and rooms for Laundrie. The report stated it was determined that if Laundrie was at the motel, he was no longer there. And so this has been happening a lot. There's been a lot of them, including another one in Tennessee that they've been doing. So I want to go to this Tennessee sighting as well. So hiker claims he saw Brian Laundrie near the Appalachian Trail. He spoke to someone he believes to be Brian Laundrie near the Appalachian Trail. So here we are. Florida man hiking the Appalachian Trail claims he saw Brian Laundrie driving in a white pickup truck around 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's midnight. In a white pickup truck. Now that white pickup truck is sending a lot of people down wormholes of, Cassie Laundrie, Brian's sister, owns a white Ford pickup truck. Here's the FBI at her door on the 20th. Could that white Ford truck be hers? No. There's protesters currently outside of her home. They've been there, and we have several shots from yesterday and the day before of that truck being in the driveway. So I really highly doubt he took the truck in the middle of the night while people have been looking, went out to Tennessee, came back, parked it. I think we can officially debunk that one. However, 12:30 a.m. is what they say here, versus the other one was at 12:30 in the morning. Or sorry, not 12:30. This one was at. Sorry, I thought I had it. 10:40 a.m. So that would have been in the midnight, and then this would have been the night before. Tennessee would have been first, and then he would have been driving down to Ohio. So it's not impossible because the driving distance from Cambridge to Tennessee, Ohio to Tennessee, is 6.5 hours. Or 5 hours, depending on how you go. So it's not impossible, based on the timeline, that these could have both been him. However, it's odd that he would have been driving a truck. He actually would have been hiking here in Tennessee at midnight on Saturday, and then somehow got in a truck and driven down to Cambridge, Ohio. That seems odd to me. What do you guys think? Connecting. Let's look at this Appalachian Trail sighting and see if it seems any more likely. Dennis Davis, who spoke to numerous outlets, including Fox, said it didn't at first register that the driver may have been Laundrie, but after the encounter, he looked up photos of the fugitive, wanted on debit card charges, and he felt convinced enough to call in the sighting the FBI twice, as well as 911 operators in Tennessee and North Carolina. There is no doubt about it. That was Brian Laundrie I just was talking to. 100%. Not a doubt in my mind, Davis said of the encounter after he looked up both portrait and profile shot of Laundrie on his phone. So here's an image sort of where it was, where the Waterfill Road, Hartford, Tennessee. Laundrie is on the lam, wanted for charges. Davis and some other hikers were going to leave a car at the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail, and he was going to sleep at the trailhead Friday night. He accidentally passed a parking lot near the trail and was going to make a U-turn on Waterville Road when a vehicle approached from behind and flashed its headlights as if signaling Davis that he could complete his U-turn. After completing his U-turn, he was driving back in the direction of the pickup when the man driving it stuck his head out of the vehicle. I pulled alongside the vehicle, Davis explained. I rolled my window down and I started talking with the gentleman. I could tell right away that something wasn't right with him. His immediate thought was that the driver was on drugs at first, but after reflecting on it, Davis said he looked mentally shot. Davis added that the driver didn't look dirty at all. The driver then told Davis that he was lost and was trying to get to California after getting in a fight with his girlfriend. He said, me and my girlfriend had a fight, and man, I love her, and she called me, and I need to go to California to see her, Davis explained. Davis then told the driver to take 180 West, but the driver said no, and that he would rather stay on Waterville Road by the Pigeon River. He said, no, I think this road is where I'm going to take to California, Davis said. Hiker thought about the encounter afterwards as he started driving again and began to wonder whether it was Laundrie. So I got to the next spot where I was going to park, and I pulled open my phone and started looking through pictures, and the thing I was talking to him, which really stood out to me, was it was a very full but short, very thick, dark black beard and mustache. Very full but short, very thick, dark black beard and mustache. And so when I parked my car and pulled over up the picture of him on the internet, and there was that beard and mustache. At that point, the hiker was 95% sure he had seen Laundrie and called the FBI. When he got off the phone with the FBI, he looked at another profile shot of Laundrie and felt 100%. Convinced that he had spotted the fugitive, which at one point he called the FBI a second time, as well as Tennessee and North Carolina police. The Haywood County North Sheriff's Office said in the dispatch that they received the call from Davis after 2 a.m. Saturday, the next near the Waterville exit, where he had cell service again to look at more photos of Laundrie. He relayed to the story to the police. Yada. So we're repeating. It's sort of repetitive. But it was in the middle of the night. The Sheriff's Office, which has said I received about 10 more sightings and calls between Saturday and Sunday, sent a team to mile marker 7 near the Waterville exit. Tips have been picked up in the last few days, but none have been as specific as Davis's. One woman called in possibly Laundrie sighting, saying she saw a man with skinny legs near an overpass. See, this is my problem in taking all this seriously. When you set your mind to it, you can believe you see it. And they do that with like a witness testimony. People never actually remember what they see, especially faces. So if you have in your mind that you saw Brian and you're like, something was off about that encounter, he could have been just some drug guy for real. But you have it set in your mind that you saw him, and then you look at the pictures, and there's some resemblance, which, let's be honest, there's a lot of bald guys out there that look like Brian Laundrie. You can tell yourself that it absolutely happened. Yeah, and Jolene just asked, why aren't people yelling Brian at them? It's a good question, but at the same time, he at least acknowledged he didn't know until afterwards. But the fact that he said it afterwards, to me, is weird. If the guy had, like, saw him during and was, like, checking his phone during it, why not get a video of him? Be like, hey, just start filming him. But he didn't realize it till after, of course. It's always what these encounters happen. But I got to say, this guy's 100%. I don't know if I believe that he's 100%. I just don't buy it. It's possible, I guess. But now putting it together, he saw this guy outside in a white truck outside Tennessee. And then the next person allegedly saw him at a hotel, walking around this hotel at the Cambridge Motel. Now, let's look up, actually, Cambridge Motel. Let's put them together. And walking around, so he could have gotten in a car. We don't know if it was a car or not. Cambridge Motel, Ohio. And there it is. So it's going to the Cambridge. We're going around there till Bristol. It's possible because he drove so far in the evening. Anything's possible. It's a 6-hour drive, and the second instance here in Cambridge just mentions seeing him walk by. We checked several rooms, etc. It doesn't mean he was staying there. They were working outside, and they saw him on the grounds. He walked past them while performing maintenance at 10:40 in the morning. It seems odd to me that he would be walking around so visibly. So, look, as I told you at the beginning of this video, neither of these are confirmed. These are two sort of sightings that are getting out in the world without even photo evidence or anything. I do wonder if we're overlooking into things. And as we're live, which do you believe? I want to ask before I wrap up so we can get which sighting do you believe? Ohio motel, Tennessee trail with truck. And I'm going to add an option. Both. Neither. I'm curious how you guys are taking this stuff. Okay, there we go. I asked the community. I want you guys to vote on this because I'm like, how serious are we taking these sightings is really what I'm trying to figure out. So I put in our streams back connection. Good. I put out the poll and I asked you, which one do you believe? Ohio motel, Tennessee trail in the truck, both or neither? Because I'm curious where you guys are buying. How many of you are just buying into these sightings as we get them, and how serious should we be taking them? To me, it's like unless there's some photo evidence or some more. What's interesting about the motel in Ohio is two people. Two people said they saw it. You'd think those two people wouldn't be 100%. The guy in the truck, I don't know if I buy it because it sounds like there was just some druggy guy trying to get to his girl. I don't. If he's Brian being that out of it just doesn't make sense to me. There's so much going on. Why is he driving around, stopping in the middle of the night, saying, I'm trying to get to my girl? It sounds like some guy actually on drugs, and I don't believe he is on drugs, Brian Laundrie. I just don't buy that. So I don't think either of these seem truthful. And why he'd be him walking around in a motel outside of Ohio motel is probably more likely, to be honest. Him engaging with the other guy makes me not believe that. So if I'm going to believe either of these, I'm going to believe the one with two witnesses that was more of a walk-by. But even that, I don't find credible. But I want to see what you guys are voting, and if I'm curious if more of you will say neither or pick one. And actually, one of you is it's pretty tied. Fascinating. And that's why I like doing these polls and being interactive with you when we're live, because the poll is actually pretty revealing. We have almost 1,000 votes. I'm going to give that for another minute as I wrap these up. But yeah, overall, what we can confirm is people who are like, he was in a white truck, it must be Cassie's. Guys, we got to stop doing that because Cassie's truck is in the driveway. There are protesters out there, the same protesters that were outside the Laundrie parents. They're now outside Cassie's house, and the truck is there. So debunk that one. Throw that out. Please don't send me tips about the truck. It's gone. We can't even confirm if the guy who saw a guy in a truck was Brian, so let's pump the brakes on that. The reason I report on some of these sightings is so we can debunk them or talk about the logistics of how realistic these sightings are. And in both of these instances, I'm going to hang with you guys live, and we'll debate it a little bit more and make sure I'm not missing anything. But for my overall takeaway, I'm not buying either of them. If I was to give one a little bit more weight, it would be Ohio motel, just because he's passing by in the morning, and two people said they saw him. So it's a little bit more likely, but both of those people could have said, is that Brian? They could have looked at the photo and go, oh my God, that was Brian, and then suddenly they've insisted their brain that they saw Brian. So I'm going to say neither of them are true, personally, but I would have said the Ohio was more likely. All right, now as we got to 1,000 votes, the poll, I'm going to end in a second. I'll let it sit for a little longer, but I'll tell you guys on this replay what they said. 5% of you said the Ohio motel was him. So only 5% believe the Ohio one. 37% believe the Tennessee trail in the truck is him. So 37% of you are buying that sighting. 10% are saying both are true. 47% of you say neither. So about half of you are saying no. The other half are buying it. So 47% said no. 48%, there we go. 48% said no. So about 52% of you believed one of those sightings was real or both, but with the majority of you saying it was the Tennessee trail in the truck. Interesting. It's very interesting to see those numbers so we can see where all our heads are at. I think the hotel was more likely, but the Tennessee trail in the truck felt like a druggy guy just walking by and a guy who's told his head that was Brian. I'm not buying that one, but there you go. You guys are. But 48% of you overall say no, neither of these seem legit. So that's where I'm at. So I'm in the majority on it. We're in the majority together, but we're reporting on these just so we can make sure, could this be possible? That's what we try and do here. So thank you guys for watching the live stream. Don't go anywhere. We're not done. I just wanted to clip this though because I see a lot of people send this to me, and I wanted to make sure we could sort of debunk or get factual on these sightings is what we try to do here. If you like more longer analysis to sort of figure out what's actually happening, please consider hitting that subscribe, hit the bell, smash the like button, and leave a comment down below, because I know this story is got a lot of people invested, but I want to make sure when we are live here and giving you our news stories, we try to make sure what's real, what's not, be very clear in our speculation and break down the facts of what we know. So thank you guys for watching on the replay. I'm going to clip this for you guys to watch later. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. I want to speculate with you a bit more about some other news, but I want to get this out to you guys so you know the latest updates and the latest sightings for Brian Laundrie, which I'm calling false. But that's just me.